Alright. So, the whole point of this story, I'm going to take you back to Time Spiral Block. Time Spiral Block Limited. There used to be this thing called Team Draft. They do it now. It's called Team Draft. And I don't know if I should be exposing the community, but, you know, at one point or another, you know, you can do little side bets on it. It was very discouraged. You weren't supposed to, but you could put money on the side, you know, if you wanted to. So usually you would look around the room, you try and find somebody to money draft with, and they were really, really popular back in the day. Money drafting was gas. You already know. So it was Atlanta. It was a PTQ in Atlanta, and it was sealed. And me and my boy George scrubbed out of the PTQ, and we were like, drove up there. We were in college. We were broke. I mean, I'm not in college, still broke. You know what I'm saying? And so we ride up there, and we're like, you know, barely got enough money to get back. But we were beasts at money draft, you know. So we were like, dude, we're gonna hustle some people on some money draft. So we find this money draft. We get into it, and then we're drafting, and my deck's looking pretty bad. But I'm like, it's 2v2. So in 2v2, you know, you play first to 3 match wins. And once I got done drafting, I looked at George's deck, and I was like, George, we drafted the same fucking deck, dude. We both drafted blue-black. And my deck was worse than his. He had Mirror the Accursed, which was like a 3-power haste flyer. He had a little shadow guy that you could suspend that came off suspend on turn 4 or whatever, and was shadow haste 3-power. So like at least he had that going for him. Me, my deck was Joda's Avenger. Look that card up. Joda's Avenger. And Spirit Link. Okay, so Joda's Avenger was a 6-mana 4/4, and you could pay 0, and its own turn it got -1/-1, and your choice of any of these abilities: double strike, protection from red, vigilance, or shadow. Okay, and so I had Vampiric Link, which was like a Spirit Link, and you just put it on the Joda's Avenger. Was my plan, I guess. And so we ended up playing, and I'm gonna have to turn off these alerts. So we ended up playing, and while we were playing, I played this guy, and I lost to him. And then George played the same guy, and he lost to him. And I was just like, dude, we're about to get swept, and we played for $50 a hit. And it's like, dude, that is all of our gas money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is all of our gas money. Like, shit, dude. I mean, we got to do something. So we were sitting next to Skoloski's Deli next door, and we were like, all right, you know, what are we going to do? Like, and at the end of a money draft, you pay up the money, and then the winning team gets all the cards. So we said, well, maybe we'll make a deal with them. We'll walk over there and say, hey, look, we'll just concede, you know, pay you half the money, you take all the cards, and we won't even play the matches, you know. And so walk over there. The guy, he comes over there, he's like, and his friend, we didn't get to play his friend yet, but he kept saying how his friend had this sick deck with Sprout Swarm, which if you played the format, it was one of the most busted cards, and the dude had 2 of them. So he's like, all right, you know, you got to play my friend with these 2 Sprout Swarms. And we're like, we're not trying to do that. We're like, look, why don't you just take half the money and all the cards, and we'll just walk. No big deal. Oh, no, you got to play my boy. He's playing for top 8 right now. As soon as he's done, you know. And I was like, damn, and the dude's good. And I'm like, shit, man, what are we going to do? So we're sitting there, and then he's like, yeah, come back over and come play him. And so we're sitting in the deli, and I was like, George, bro, dude, we can't afford to lose this thing right here. I think we need to just fucking walk out on this guy. Like, we just got to get in the car and drive away. Which is like the worst thing you can do, you know? You never run off, you don't cheat in a money draft, you know what I'm saying? Like, because nobody's ever going to money draft you again. So, but I was like, dude, this is the only way we're going to make it home, is if we get in the car and drive off right now, because this guy won't take our offer. And so we go back in there, because, you know, we're not going to be dishonest here, you know, and we asked his friend the same offer. He's like, oh, no, we're going to play. We're ready right now. Let's go. So then George played him, and he got the sick curve 2 games in a row, games 2 and games 3, where he suspended the 3/1 shadow guy on 2, and then next turn he ended up playing Mirror the Accursed the turn that he came off suspend, and he just busted him up 6 unblockable, and beat his Sprout Swarm deck. So we were up the game, and then I was like, look, dude, we'll offer you the same deal. Just take half the money, because I know my deck is not going to win. So just take half the money and all the cards. And the guy was like, oh, no, that was some bullshit, we're going to play, da-da-da-da-da. So then I play him, and he gets mana screwed 1 game, and then in game 3, I get the Joda's Avenger combo out. I have to shadow, because Pro Red doesn't beat Sprout Swarm, and I narrowly beat this Sprout Swarm with my shitty Joda's Avenger. So then I end up winning the match, and now we're tied. Now, if you don't know, if there's a tie, it's first to 3 match wins. So you have to pick a person on your team to play the tiebreaker. So they're picking the Sprout Swarm guy, straight up. He feels like he needs some retribution. And I'm over here like, look, dude, we're tied up, dude. How about this? We'll just call it even. You take all the cards, and, you know, we'll just walk. You know, no big deal. Because we knew we got lucky as shit to beat him. And he was like, oh, no, fuck that. It was this, it was that. So then I was like, these guys are just being so unreasonable, you know, just so unreasonable right here. And so then I was like, George, you got to play. Obviously, my deck's shit. So then he played, he sat down and played, and he got the God Curve again with the Mirror of the Curse and the Shadow guy. And we beat him twice. And then we said, all right, pay up. You know, got paid $50 a piece, took all their cards with all their Sprout Swarms, and laughed at them, and then walked out. And we were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. You know, we were totally supposed to lose right there. And unbelievable. And similar thing happened to me recently. I was in the finals of a classic. You probably seen it with Living In, before Living In got the good creatures. And I was walking my way up to the finals, and the guy was playing fairies, and I knew it. And I knew it was a terrible matchup. And the guy was like, oh man. I was like, hey man, check it out. I live in New Orleans. You know, how about we just do a prize split? You know, we'll do $750 a piece, and then I'll split. Let's split, then I'll split. And then he was like, what? I said, look, let's just split, and I'm just gonna leave, okay? And you can do whatever you want. You can take your picture, get your plaque. I'm out the building because I know I'm not beating this fairy deck with Living In, you know. And he was like, oh no, we're playing. No, for sure, we're playing. And I was like, dude, come on, don't be unreasonable here. We'll split the money, and then you are the winner. He's like, oh, no, we're playing. I said, well, then you're going to have to wait for me to go smoke a cigarette. So I walked outside. I was hitting my vape, you know, and I just made him wait. I said, fuck, man. Make him sweat at least. I walk back in there. You know, we play. I live in 2 guys back into play, and then he ends up with the turn 2 copter, and then he go for the throat, snap, go for the throat, kill my guys, and kill me with the copter. So then I'm like, shit, man, I'm so shit on. Game 2. I go turn 1 land, go, end step cycle after he plays a Secluded Glen. I draw, I go land, Spirit Guide, Blood Moon, game over. Just game over right there. He lost to the Blood Moon. And then I was like, you know, I'm not even going to ask him for the split now. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to Blood Moon this guy, you know. So then we go to game 3. I keep a hand with Living In it. He turn 1, Thought Seizes me. Takes my Living In. And then he Surgicals the Living In. Now, the way I boarded, I need Living In my deck. I got Ricochet Trap in my deck. I'm counting on Living In being in my deck. It's not my deck. He surgicaled me out. He sees my hand with the Ingot Chewer. So then, you know, I just play out the first couple turns, doing a little cycling. And then he plays another Thoughtseize, and he takes the Ingot Chewer, and then he deploys a Smuggler's Copter. To which I reply, you know, Avalanche Rider. Destroy your Creeping Tar Pit. Can't attack because he can crew up the copter, pass a turn. He crews up the copter, attacks, plays another one. So I'm like, alright, I'm so shit on right here. And then, now in my hand is a Para-Recluse, a Violent Outburst, and a Demonic Dread. So I pay Echo on the Avalanche Rider. I draw. In my draw step, he Surgicals my Ingot Chewers, sees my hand, looks through my deck for a second time, and then I just paid Echo for the Avalanche Riders, and I pass the turn, can't swing into the second copter. Next turn, he attacks for 3, and then he Thought Seizes me. And whenever he Thought Seizes me, he looks. I throw my hand down. I pick my hand up, and I go him like this. This is how you get him to look one way, and you go the other. You throw your hand on the table, and you're like, oh yeah, baby, come on. We need a Temple Garden. One time, baby. Temple Garden would be the land I would need to cast Para-Recluse next turn, which was not in my deck. Was not in my deck at all. And he should know this because he looked through my deck twice. But I yelled out there, I'm like, come on, baby, we need a Temple Garden one time. Come on, boys. And I'm just thinking like that. His girlfriend's over there rubbing his shoulders. He's got the folded out fairy deck, not wanting to split. And I was like, and he looked, and he tanked. And he tanked. And I'm like, dude, this dude is fucking thinking about this. Oh my god. Demonic Dread is shit terrible because you can't target the copters because they're not creatures. Or the Mutavault, not creatures. Violent Outburst is the only playable card. Para-Recluse doesn't do anything but land cycle. He's thinking. He's thinking. Next thing you know, boom, takes the Para-Recluse. So now he's got 2 Thoughtseizes under his belt. He's got 2 Surgicals under his belt. He's at like 12 less life. You know, he's like 11. And so then You know, he swung for 3. I drew. What do I rip? Boom. Street Wraith off the top. Street Wraith, he's got a swamp in play. I'm like, ooh, shit. And I sat up. I'm like, we got a game now, boys. You know, you got to get under the skin. You know, you got to play the game some kind of way. So I got the Street Wraith out there. I pass the turn. He swings with the copter. On my turn, I swing with the Street Wraith, put him to 8, and I just drew another Street Wraith. So I play a Street Wraith, and he has no cards in hand. So I play a Street Wraith. He's like, and now I'm like, now we got a game. Because he's at 8, and I got Violent Outburst in my hand. I got 2 unblockable Street Wraiths, right? And he has no hand. I also have an Avalanche Rider, which has not been able to attack because he's been holding back 1 copter. I'm at 8, he's at 8. I pass the turn. He's got Snapcaster, Mutavault, 2 coppers. He draws. Now I watch him. Always follow the cards in your opponent's hand, especially if you're trying to watch for a top deck. So the dude draws. He activates the Mutavault, or he uses the Snapcaster to crew up the copter, and then he attacks. He draws, and he quickly discards the card. So I'm like, he kept that first one. That first one that he drew was a go for the throat. So now I'm like, damn, we played this whole game. And in my mind, I'm like, we played this whole game, and I'm almost clawed back into this thing, and I needed him to blank to beat him for the sickest win, and he already has the go for the throat. So I'm like, fuck, man, no justice here. So then he discards, he passes real quick. I take 3, go to 5. These copters are lethal next turn. He can literally just crew up 1 copter and kill me with a Mutavault next turn, you know, because I got to swing. So I untap and draw, and I draw a Violent Outburst. Second Violent Outburst. So I'm thinking in my mind, if I outburst twice and he kills one of these Street Wraiths, like I know he's going to do, then that's only 7 damage. He's at 8. If I attack with Avalanche Riders, this is something I considered. If you attack with the Avalanche Riders, he can crew it up with the Mutavault and block it with the copter. And if he didn't have a go for throw, he would get a redraw at it. So attacking with the copter doesn't even work. Even if I Violent Outburst and the copter trades with the Avalanche Rider, he can crack back with the Mutavault and the copter to kill me for 5 damage because I'm at 5. So I'm like, there's no way to win this game. And I'm like, oh shit. And so, you know, when in doubt, swing out, baby. Fucking swung out. I'm like, swing out. He's like, yeah, no blocks. I was like, well, no blocks? He's like, yeah, no blocks. I was like, all right, cool, no blocks. You're at 8. I got 8 power right here. And I'm just waiting for him to play his go for the throat, which I read because I looked at his hand when he drew his card and the way he looted that he already had a removal spell. So I just played my Violent Outburst first so he can get the go for the throat on the stack. So he's like, go for throat your guy. I'm like, Violent Outburst. He's like, go for throat your guy. I'm like, okay, cool. Violent Outburst again. Avalanche Rider is good. 4 plus 5, 9. You dead. This dude's face just melted. His old lady back there just like, what the fuck just happened? You know, and he's just melting in front of me with his foil. He's like bleeding on his freaking foil fairy deck. Just gushing on his deck. Just unbelievable. Just incredible. And I just try to keep some sportsmanship about me, you know. And I was like, yeah, that was a great game, man, you know. You know, they're all packing up all the shit from the event. We're the last people playing. And I'm like, man, that was an incredible game right there. And then he was getting salty. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to be salty about this when you fucked up multiple times and you should have just split with me, you know, then I got to rub it in, bro. I got to. I mean, I'm obligated. So I'm like, look, dude, hey, man, don't be so upset. That was a great game. And you have a beautiful deck. I love fairies. That is a beautiful foil deck you got there, man. It's gorgeous. Simply one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen. So I want to thank you for a wonderful match, man. It was incredible. And I especially want to thank you for not split with me. Oh, dude. This dude's face, bro. Just melting. And I jump up and I'm like, hell yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Oh, look, dude, I'd love to stay and talk to you, bro. But didn't even go take pictures and grab plaques and shit, man. You have a safe trip home. Fucking walked off home. Dude walked off on him laughing, dude. Laughing like I'm laughing, cackling, bro. I mean, what fuck? How could you not? I mean, dude, listen, I'm not a dick. People might see this story, you might just think, well, Jody's a fucking asshole. But the thing about it is I show up, I play. And you know what? If you're going to be a dick to me, dude, I know how to be a dick. I used to be a dick back in the day, you know. In my older age, you know, I done calm down a little bit. But guess what? I know all the tricks, bro. So if you're coming over here with a little bullshit, bro, don't think I can't bullshit better than the next one. You know? So, got his ass, walked off, took my plaque, took my picture. Boom, I got the plaque. Look, I'm going to go grab the plaque for you right here. This is a piece of history. This is the fucking... Thank you, Ferryman. If you ever see this video, dude, I want to thank you. I really hope you made it home safe, bro, because I don't think you were in any condition to drive after that match. But, hell yeah, man. You got to stay in the game. You got to want it more than your opponent, and sometimes you just got to get lucky, you know? So that's it for story time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I don't know what you can take from that story, but maybe you'll find a piece, and if not, maybe at least you'll bring a laugh, you know? Get a laugh out the story. Shit, hell yeah, baby. Goon Squad, baby. If you like the story, you like the stream, check out the stream. I got the links down below. And, you know, drop in, drop a follow, join the Goon Squad, baby. We have a great time 3 nights a week. More than that, we do the 24-hour stream once a month. And if you enjoy the videos, you enjoy the content, man, check out the Patreon page, too. There's a lot of cool perks. And all the links are down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe so other people can find it. And thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good one.